I think you've also gotten some criticism because you did say that Caitlin Clark, should have been on the Olympic team. And I don't disagree with you for saying that. I just wondered who you think whose spot she should have taken.
Right, right. Well, obviously, and I make the point in the book and made the point in columns, right, that this is a very tough decision, right? Who do you take off if you're putting Caitlin Clark on? You're asking the question. I'll give you a straight answer, as I will always do. The process itself was a mess. Where people were saying one thing, she wasn't playing well, and then you've got Dawn Staley, who was on the committee, saying she was playing, head and shoulders above everybody else. If we'd known then what we know now, well, the night that I broke the news that Caitlin Clark was not going to be on the Olympic team, June 7th of 2024, she'd had 30 points and 7 threes against Washington. Now, granted, that decision would have already been made, right? If I was able to, someone read me the list a few hours later. But Caitlin Clark was playing great by that point. Her statistics were much better than Diana Taurasi, so I'll pick Diana Taurasi. 42 years old, basically given a spot, of course, did not play, in fact, it led to a great line for me in the book, cynical line for sure, but Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark both played the same number of minutes and scored the same number of points in the gold medal game against France, which was a ragged 1-point victory. And of course, 0 points and 0 minutes played. Diana Taurasi was on the bench in Paris, and Caitlin Clark was 4,000 miles away in the United States. Diana Taurasi's great. She's amazing, and she's cynical and acerbic. I personally would not treat a 22-year-old the way she did. I mentor many hundreds of, over the years, 22-year-olds and younger. I would never be as, mean-spirited, kick him in the shins as she was with Caitlin Clark. But I mean, it's a free country. She can do that. When she said reality's coming and kind of laughed like, yeah, well, as we now know, reality was coming, as Diana said for her on that one. But that's okay. I mean, that's not, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I mean, Diana Taurasi was given a spot to get a going away present. Let's just be honest. And this doesn't lessen her career. But at that moment, if she was so valuable, she never even got in the gold medal game. Caitlin Clark, that team, as you guys know, needed a real spark, like in the third quarter, right? And Kelsey Plum and Sabrina Ionescu, kind of came in and helped out. Sure, Caitlin Clark, a couple threes at that moment would have been absolutely a real boon and a real positive development for that team. But of course, Caitlin Clark wasn't there. And the eyeballs, oh my gosh, the reach. I had journalists, you guys. A woman from Brazil, a journalist from Brazil, came running up to me. Where's Caitlin Clark? Why isn't she here? I was going to cover all the games. Now I'm not going to, because Caitlin Clark is such a fascinating figure in Brazil. A British journalist, a guy, explained the Caitlin Clark phenomenon to me. I told him a little bit. He said, I'll cover every game at the Olympics. She was never there. So there goes that coverage. That was a point I made. I've covered all those Olympic gold medal games going back to '84. It's tumbleweeds in the press section. It shouldn't be, but it is. I'm one of the very few journalists there. I always will go there, try to, obviously cover the team, give it the coverage it deserves, the women's basketball team. The reason you might say, and your viewers might say, well, why? Why isn't anyone covering? Because they're so good, they're almost too good for their own good, that they win all the time. Whereas the women's soccer team, which is usually playing right around the same time. So if you're an editor and you've got one journalist at the Olympics, you might send them to the soccer, not for any reason other than the soccer team could lose, because they have lost. And it's such a competitive, couple days at the Olympics with so many things going on that it was very easy for sports editors to ignore the women's basketball team. You put the attention magnet, Caitlin Clark, on that team, you cannot ignore that team. And that's the point I was making.
Watch new episodes of Women's Sports Now every Thursday on Roku channel.